Hello everyone, welcome to the monthly reading, intuitive reading for the collective consciousness. And this is for June 2023. Oh my God, I cannot believe it's June already. So crazy, but let's see what the month has in store for us as a collective. I am first gonna ask you guys to please like the video. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. That would be really helpful if other people can find my content that really needs it. And subscribe to my channel. That would be wonderful. And hit the notification bell for any notifications. I do schedule these weekly and these monthlies. I schedule them out as premieres, so you'll get notifications for that if you subscribe. So one last thing, please guys, any comments would be wonderful. Suggestions, letting me know if it resonates, letting me know if it doesn't resonate, feedback, comments in general, questions, anything at all, just put them down below. I am super happy to always engage and I answer all comments. So go ahead and put them down below. I ask that you be kind. So, all right. Anyway, guys, I'm using the same 4 decks that I've been using for the last few weeklies. And I switched up the order of them just a little bit, but I am using the same decks and they're already pre-shuffled. So enough is enough. Let's jump right into it, guys. All right. So what do we need for June? Okay. We have orphan child, in the shadow, feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking appropriate surrogate families. Okay, so I'm definitely feeling the need right off the bat. And again, this is for June 2023. This is from, you can check out the last weekly reading that I did that actually bleeds into the first week of June. But I definitely do, this is for all of June for the monthly, just to reiterate. And so I definitely do feel like the full month is, and this is coming through really strongly, is that it's almost like it's like that lost child trying to find where you fit in, trying to find your tribe. That's kind of the overall feeling that I'm getting. And sometimes the first card can come through strongly, sometimes not so strongly, but and I let you guys know. And I definitely do feel like this is kind of the theme for the month here, where we're kind of looking for where we fit in on a physical, environmental level, a tribe level. So really looking for where we resonate with other people, looking for new community, like that kind of thing. And I definitely do feel like there might be feelings of, as this card states, of feelings of abandonment may be coming up that are really stifling this, or it could be from our transformation from our old life to our new life. Maybe we actually moved. Maybe we're actually moving locations and need to kind of find that, or we're going to a new stage in life where maybe all of, everybody around you is kind of going in their separate ways, going in separate different directions than you. And it is really time for you to kind of like find a new friend group or something like that. I'm very interested to see what comes up through this friends slot here. But I definitely do feel a really, really overpowering type need to fit in some way, shape, or form. But just because it came in the shadow, just letting you guys know, just be careful that you're not necessarily, I kind of want to say fitting in with the wrong crowd, but I know most of you guys aren't teenagers, who, I feel like a mother saying, don't go, don't be around the wrong crowd, but to fit in, just to fit in, like conforming or bending yourself to be something that you're not, is not necessarily going to be beneficial for you. So just be careful of that. But I definitely do feel like this journey that you're going on this month to kind of find that social group or crowd. So, all right, I've explained it enough. I think you guys understand. Action needed. High Priestess, harness mystic power. Okay, so this is really about, this is a power card. So this is about owning your power. So this is part of it. And I love that it's next to the orphan child, the child orphan card, because this is just about making sure that you're harnessing your, especially your feminine power. And so this is just making sure that you're connecting to your higher self and making sure that, like I mentioned already, like with that shadow, like you're not necessarily conforming or being somebody that you're not, or feeling like you need to be that way to fit in some type of way. So those two go hand in hand. So that does make me feel a little bit better about how we're going to be dealing with this energy and what direction we're going to go in. So I do love that. So just be careful there. But harnessing your own inner power is going to be really important. Issue, we have the fates. Okay, we actually had this in the weekly last, I think it was the last full week of May, this was here. And this is always about what will be, will be. And so I do see, and I think that actually came out in the important slot here in that reading. So this coming up as far as the issue goes is that we're still not trusting that, okay? So I do feel a lot of not believing that everything that is intended to be will be. So there is trust issues kind of coming up here, basically is really cutting to the chase there. It's saying like, if we're not trusting that everything is going to work itself out, we're really working ourselves up for no reason. So I definitely do feel like this month, you know, it's really going to be important that you really cultivate that, you know, take a deep breath, like, you know, a conscious breath in and out. Everything is going to be okay and everything will turn out the way it's intended to be. So another way to kind of say this is practicing detachment will be really helpful for you for the month, because it definitely does feel like you really, really want something and you're not necessarily getting it. And by worrying and attaching to it is not making it come any faster. Okay, so that's what Spirit is saying there. What do we have as far as surprise? Patience. Your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. Okay, so I love that these two are next to each other. So surprise, in patience, meaning that, and I don't read literally. I read intuitively. So I know this says your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize, which is great. That's actually a mantra that a lot of you could actually take, and that could really help with this issue here with the fates. But I definitely do feel the surprise is more like we're surprising ourselves with how much patience that we actually do have or can cultivate. So something tells me for most of you guys, it's going to be more of a one specific type issue where you feel like you are having more patience than you actually realize that you could have, that you could ever have, and that kind of surprises you. So that would surprise me as somebody that doesn't have a lot of patience, but as you know, the last couple of years have been for me, I've had to, you know, I have had no choice but to cultivate more patience and learn how to do it and roll with the punches and that kind of thing. So I definitely do feel like that's a surprise for a lot of us this month. So, and a good surprise, because patience is a virtue. Okay, we have challenge. Priest facilitates spiritual commitment, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. Okay, so this is really good because it's coming up in the positive, in the light here. But I definitely do feel like it is going to be challenging, but because it's coming up very positively, I feel like we're going to overcome it, right? And so the challenge here feels like when we talk about the priest, it's really connecting to spiritual energy, as it says, and connecting to our spiritual selves and our spiritual lives. Because I don't know if any of you guys have been seeing 77 lately. Usually 77 means connecting back to your spiritual life. If you guys see, I do daily readings on my YouTube shorts. So if you subscribe to my channel, you'll see my YouTube shorts as well. And so I've been getting sometimes a lot of, I think I got it like 3 times in the last couple of weeks about reconnecting to, maybe 2-3 times, reconnecting to our spiritual selves. And so I definitely do feel like that's part of what's happening this month, but it does feel challenging, probably because of like all this transformation and change that's been happening in our lives. And I think a lot of us are coming out of survival mode and we're moving into that thriving mode finally, and that we're finally able to, because I sometimes see spirituality as like, you know, I look at like the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if you guys have ever heard of that, and basically your basic level of survival is like shelter, food, water, like that kind of thing, and any self-improvement or self-actualization is only at the top, right? And so you need all your basics to be taken care of before you can get to that last piece. And so sometimes I think of spirituality, you know, as like a privilege in a way because of that pyramid. And so it almost feels like that because it's been challenging, but like I said, it feels really positive that we're getting to the other side and we're able to practice and connect in a really positive way. Finally, after, you know, having trouble with that. Okay, focus. What do we have to focus on? Medicine Garden, be open to healing information. Okay, so yeah, so I definitely do feel like as far as anybody's healing journey that's kind of going on in June, I definitely feel that Spirit is asking us to focus on that. And focus, I do have a message here that is coming through like, be open to information that you're not usually open to, and be open, this is kind of specific, but I feel like some of you guys need to hear it, is be open to getting information from people you wouldn't normally get information from. Okay, that's just like the feeling that I'm getting. So just be open, don't be closed-minded, because it's gonna only help it's only gonna deter you or hurt you in the long run. Okay, so basically it's saying just like be open, and that should kind of be like the main focus of the month is whatever you're doing, whether it's a physical healing journey, whether it's an emotional, whether it's a mental, like what relational, whatever it actually is. It could be a combination of all of those. Just be open to healing information and new information, new modalities, and new people that may come in, that maybe you're not necessarily talking to them about something like this, but they have a suggestion for you. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, we have reflect, loyal heart. Okay, so this reflection is interesting. This really goes to reflecting on our relationships and past relationships. So this is interesting that it's, connected right here to the medicine guardian. I definitely do feel like reflecting on, I don't want to say how you attach in relationships, even though looking at our attachment styles are always positive and a good idea. This is more about like reflecting on, let's put it this way, because what I interpret loyal as is like commitment, but also truth at the same time. So I will say look at those themes when it comes to connecting in relationships, and not just romantic relationships. Okay, maybe we'll see what comes through on this romantic connection card here, but it doesn't have to just be romantic relationships, but really looking at your loyalty, your commitment, and your relationship to truth in relationships, and take that as it is, whether it's personal truth, the truth, whatever you want to say. But I definitely do feel like there's something kind of there, and I think it'll make more sense as you guys go through it. But it definitely does feel like a part of that healing journey that you guys are going to be on. Responsibilities, comfort. I am with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. Okay, so this is how I'm interpreting this. The only responsibilities you have is to, I guess I want to say, not comfort, like being in your comfort zone. This is more so like your responsibilities are to heal your heart. Your responsibilities are to yourself. Let's just put it this way. Like, I don't love that it says comfort, because that's not necessarily the feeling that I'm getting. And again, I don't take them super literally, but it definitely does feel like this energy of like your only responsibility is making sure you're okay and you're healing, basically. Let's put it that way. And your own reflection, your own stuff, right? And so this, to me, I'll take it, what it's not saying is basically there's not a lot of responsibility for others. So this is definitely, which is interesting, because we are in time of Gemini, and so sometimes I feel like that's influencing the energy. So that makes sense to me, where it's kind of a focus on yourself, basically. So the only responsibilities you have to yourself, obviously, don't abandon, not paying your bills or neglect your kids or whatever. That's not what Spirit is saying. Please don't misinterpret that. This is about responsibilities to self. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys, and I didn't just butcher it or anything. All right, money, finances, and career. We have nature child. Okay, tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. This is why I don't take things super literally, okay? So money and finances. Okay, so there's something here about so when I hear environment, it doesn't necessarily mean literally environment. It means like your environment around you, and I use that word sometimes because it doesn't necessarily, it means like location. It means like, what's around you. And so basically, because this is in the money and finances, and I put career in this section too, obviously, it just feels like, how do I interpret this? or how do I say this that makes the most sense, is like, there might be a situation this month where, your inner child, right? It's very interesting that we have two child cards kind of coming up here. And orphan child, by the way, like I already mentioned, kind of looking for like a surrogate type family, like a community or tribe of some kind, because it feels like abandonment. This almost feels like abandonment stuff comes up with money and finances, or going back to kind of like your inner child and what you didn't get in childhood equals your, not equals, is relevant to your finances and your money this month. So let me see if I can give an example to kind of talk about this. Like, oh, here's a really good one. If you grew up really, really in, poor, or, in poverty, and you didn't have a lot of money growing up, this month could kind of test that or trigger that. And you can find yourself like overspending on things that you didn't have when you were a child, okay? And putting it right in front of you in your environment, or maybe buying a big house, right? That would actually make sense if you bought like a big house that maybe you couldn't afford or something like that. And it's because, of what happened with your childhood, and that would include, obviously being in your environment. So very interested. This one is a little bit of a tough one. It can kind of manifest a few different ways. And I hope it makes sense as far as like how it could potentially for you. But I'm very interested to kind of see, this is where the comments get really interesting to me, because I want to see how it manifests for people. But that's the best example I can kind of come up with. That's what's kind of coming to my head. So there is something here with money, finances, what happened in your childhood, and your physical environment in front of you. I don't think, I know it says stuff about animals. Maybe you always wanted a puppy, and this month you're getting you're getting a dog, not out of and I don't want to say not out of any other reason but love, but because everybody gets an animal because they love an animal. But maybe that is, there's something kind of underneath it fueling that desire to get that. So, okay, I think I'm a broken record at this point. I think you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to say. So very interested to see how that works out. And I feel like too that it's not bad or it's not good, it's not positive or it's not negative, meaning like it just is. So just like look out for that and just pay attention to what triggers you. It's a really good month to be really aware of stuff like this. So you're not over spending or making purchases that aren't necessarily from what you desire, but from a place of like trauma or lack or something like that. So keep that in mind. Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect. Okay, so the change is happening. I've been feeling this transformation. It feels like I keep saying, it's really, we're almost there. Most of us are already kind of in it. But the Mirror Guardian says take time to reflect. So definitely reflect on the change, in addition to kind of what's going on here with the loyal heart. You're reflecting on loyalty, reflecting on commitment. But take the time to really reflect on the change. And as far as the change goes, I don't reflect, to me, is feminine energy, because it's not moving forward. So again, I do feel like most of us are like in that change already. And so now it's just time to kind of reflect on like what just happened, right? We're always kind of, when change is happening, we're kind of always looking forward. Now is like a good time in June to like kind of like look back. Okay. Let's see what friends say here. All that glitters. Okay, so this is just be careful here. So I was curious to see what kind of came up in the friend slot here. All that glitters is usually not everything that glitters is gold, basically. I think that's like an old saying or something like that. So it does confirm what I thought up here, where when we're feeling like an abandoned child, we want to fit in, right? And so just be careful who you surround yourself with, because not all that glitters is gold. So just a little bit of a warning, like not everybody has your best interest in mind. Just because people, I feel like a lot of us need to hear this. Just because people embrace you or want to hang out with you, that doesn't mean that they value you and understand you and really care about you. Okay, so I feel like a lot of us like really need to hear that. So all that glitters isn't gold. So just be very selective. I know the abandonment wound is probably going to fuel a lot of us this month, but just again, use your discernment and use your intuition when it comes to friend groups. Okay, romantic connection. What's going on here? You are safe. Oh, I love this. This is a good one. Archangel Michael, I'm protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and home. Okay, cool. So it's definitely a month where we're going to feel really safe in our romantic connections, which is wonderful. If you're single, this is definitely an opportunity to meet somebody that makes you feel safe. So that's wonderful as well. Even if it works, whether it works out or not, it doesn't matter. It just definitely does feel like we're going to be meeting a lot of safe people romantically. And that makes me happy going off of the, looking for a community, looking for a tribe. And then the friend group here doesn't look so great, but I'm really happy to find that the romantic connections in our lives are definitely a lot better. So that's amazing. Who doesn't want to feel safe in relationships? What's important? We have the alchemist in the shadow, misuse of the power and knowledge that come through spiritual practice. Okay, so alchemist is about the transformation, but the fact, what is going on here? But the fact that it is in the shadow means that we're not necessarily integrating our transformation. So again, a lot of us have gone through a lot of transformation lately. Most of us have been one big massive thing that has been, spread out over the months, possibly over the years. And so basically the alchemist is saying like, make sure that we're integrating the lessons and we're integrating ourselves into our new lives. I keep saying old life, new life. I think you guys understand like the point A to the point B of the transformation, basically. So make sure that we're bringing our knowledge, our wisdom, our power to that, and understanding that we integrated and understanding our lessons and really making sure that they are infused in our new life. So that's really important to understand. What do we have next? Health and wellness. Oh, actually, sorry. Health and wellness. I pulled from the wrong one. Yeah, this one's right. Okay, so we have heart guardian, love and let yourself be loved. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I can't speak. Okay. Love and let yourself be loved. This is around like overall wellness. This doesn't have to be like, eat your vegetables, drink your water. This is about loving yourself. So I love that. So this month is really going to be about, makes sense with the responsibilities, right? Where it feels like we're helping ourselves heal or we're focusing more on ourselves. So it definitely does feel supported that we do a lot of self-love and self-love exercises, taking care of ourselves, which includes taking care of our needs, taking care of our desires, taking care of ourselves, taking care of our body, taking care of our soul, all of that stuff. So don't forget that. And I feel like we really, really need that. Okay, and I think, yep, this is the last one here. Come to the edge. Okay, so this is what I'm saying, guys. This one is, we've gotten this a couple of different times. This is about making sure everything is being closed up to move into our new lives. I feel most of us are there already in that transformation piece. And so this is really just about, like for most of us, July is going to feel like the ultimate transformation for us. Meaning that like, as long as we kind of like integrate things here. And I feel like if there's anything we get out of this reading, if you get anything out of this reading, it's about integrating the old life to the new life, because this feels like the last month of this, where it's really going to feel like July feels like more of your new life, and it's just going to feel like more stable and more steady for us going forward, which is great. So that's the overall outcome coming out of it, because Come to the Edge is always about closing things up. So overall, a good month, but I will say just be careful of a few things. I'll point them out again. Remember, we must integrate We must be our own alchemist. Be careful here with these two. Remember, the orphan child is going to be kind of calling out for, a surrogate family, as the card says, but more so like looking for that tribe. But just be very careful, because all that glitters is not gold. What else? Yeah, the money and finances. Be careful we're not making purchases that maybe fuel from a wounded inner child, basically, right? And then everything else looks pretty decent. I love the romantic connections this month. So if you've been thinking about dating and maybe been hesitant, I would say this is a really, really good month for dating. We're going to meet a lot of people that we feel safe with. So we're going to be able to express ourselves and connect more easily. So that's really great. And yeah, okay. So not terrible, but pretty good. Okay. So guys, have a wonderful month. Again, I would love to hear comments about kind of what you're feeling. Any feedback or anything, questions are fine too. Just be kind. That's all I ask. All right, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful month, and I will see you in July. Bye, guys.